Stream link, please.
दे दिया कि अभी?
Microphone muted.
गोकू आ गया लास्ट में खोल They bugged the lobby.
User left your channel. User joined your channel.
Welcome to the FLIPKART gaming tournament, and we go live in the game. With me today is EDX Frost, and we will be your fastest in the game today.
Oh, what's up, guys? We are tuning into the game right now. Immediate, like very fast bans coming out from both the teams. They have done their research on each other. Nidley, the ban coming out for Cyanox. Trundle against, of course, Torchness does prefer those tanks, so Trundle is getting banned away from him. And Irelia again is an overall like really good pick in general. Coming over to the red side, Zyra and a very annoying support on the blue side. So that's getting banned out, and Echo probably getting banned out for Termi because he just played it right now, a while back.
Yeah, Termi being a little nuisance on the Echo, and Zyra getting banned. I think a target ban to Danny because Danny played it pretty well last game. Maokai also getting banned, more of a nuisance in general. You can't let Torchness be on a very good, very heavy tank. So he should fall back to his Malphite, which we saw.
Like a lot of top lane bans coming out. Maokai, Irelia, Trundle, even Echo in a sense. The Malphite is going to be picked for Torchness immediately. He has always been comfortable on those tanky players, tanky champions, and Malphite's just a very safe laner with an insane ult post 6, so that's a good pickup for them.
That's very true. But not much given out. They've just picked like a contested pick, so not much given out by the blue team. Binary Vision hovering over that Jana. He did pick Jana in the game before, and they might pick the Jana again with the.
Personally, I don't think this is a very smart pickup, picking up the bot lane. Jana's fine. I don't think there was a requirement to show Vayne so early in the draft, because blue side still has 4 of your picks remaining and they can, just draft an anti-Vayne comp right now. So I don't know how good it is to show your bot lane matchup so early, so that your the enemy can counter pick it, especially on the blue side. Let's see what picks come out from because right now Danny can just pick a lane bully support and completely force out the Vayne and the Janna from lane. So if you pick something like a Thresh or a Braum right now, it's going to be a very hard laning phase for Loki and Binary.
That's very true, actually. And they have been sticking to this comp for a while now. So, do you think in today's times with aggressive comps like Lucian and maybe let's say a Braum,
right there, that's the mistake in the draft. Showing that Vayne, immediate Malphite pickup, immediate Y pickup, and this just leaves the Vayne open. She is going to get ulted by the Y, which is going to get followed up by a Malphite ult, or it can be the other way around as well. So, I mean, I don't know if showing Vayne so early was the right idea, and with Trundle banned out, it's going to be very difficult to peel back for the Vayne.
Yep, and Y pretty much is going to focus that Vayne in the matchup. Rom is also pretty strong leaning against the Vayne, so they are going pretty strong with the picks right now. And Polo hovering over that Poppy. Could he bring out the Poppy here?
Probably so. I don't know if Poppy is so very good in the meta right now, but he does feel confident in his ability to lane against the Malphite, and again Poppy with items, it's again a very annoying nuisance. But the comp they have drafted right now, it's more of the majority of the damage is centered around Vayne, so they do need to pick that hard hitting AP carry or like an AD assassin. So let's see what they pick. Twitch being hovered over by Shrapnel right now. He did play it in the last game. He has those beefy tanks in front of him, and a good Victor pickup on the blue side. So overall a very well-rounded comp from from TSC, I must say, because they have that high damage in the form of Twitch and the Victor, and initiation in the form of Malphite and Y. And again, it's a really good comp.
Yep, that's very true. They are falling back to the safe picks. In the game previously today, they had most of the same picks which they have right now, except Danny was on Zyra, which got banned, so he had to fall back to Braum, and Tommy was on Echo, which got banned, so he had to fall back on Victor. But they are pretty much bringing in the same squad. And what's your take on Tommy with the Ignite rather than...
I think he might change it depending on the matchup. I'm not so sure that if it's there for life. Let's see what Huracan picks right now. And I don't know. I'm not completely sold on the Morgana pick. I don't find it very good, because now see, even though all you're trying to do is provide protection for the Vayne, there is no damage apart from the Vayne. So Morgana, unless you are really good with the binds. Again, so the Morgana, it's as far as the mid lane matchup goes, all Morgana does is get those points in her pool, and she just pushes you out and looks for roams. But the damage is severely lacking unless Huracan proves to be really good at landing those binds. Just picking up such a safe picking up a mid laner just for a black shield against CC, I don't think this was a very smart pick. I don't know. Let's see how it turns out. Termi is choosing to stick with the Ignite though.
That is true. And I think Tommy should bring in that teleport. The double teleport could be a nuisance.
Nah, he changed it to Cleanse at the last moment.
Oh, he changes it to cleanse.
So with this kind of a comp, it is like literally impossible for PointBlank to get to the backside, because unless even if you know the Morgana flashes and starts ulting, the Twitch can always flash that out, and it has to come in the form of Cyanox's flash body slam into the ult. So let's see if they can reach the backline. If I was PointBlank, I would be looking to scale to get some items on the Vayne. But I think PointBlank has been outdrafted a lot.
That's very true. And like you said, you're not completely confident with the Morgana pickup. The Morgana is a bit not, the Morgana is right now a very situational matchup. Like it is just to fight the Turby with that shield, but I don't think in a team fight the Morgana could cause much disruption. Whereas the Malphite, if he sticks,
My point is, like, even if she does cause disruption, it's very like it's easy to avoid her ult unless she goes in at a very smart time where people have used their dashes and their flashes. So my question like is like where is the damage going to come from? How much can the Vayne hit? Can the Vayne hit long enough so that she can get to the Twitch and the Victor? I personally don't think so, because the Twitch is going to shred. He's going to be shredding throughout the fights, and the Victor again, he has a lot of damage. These two champions, they do not care about tanks. They have excessively high DPS potential from like in their own turn. So I don't know how proficient Loki has to be in the team fights, but I personally don't see it working. Like, trust me, I'm all for Morgana. I've played Morgana most of my life, so I love the champ, but I don't know if it's the right pick here.
well, you can't argue with that. So overall, best bet.
Looking at the comps, I will have to say TSC, to be honest, at this point. I have been proven wrong before. Let's see how PointBlank manages to play their lanes out. PointBlank, again, they have CC, but they're going to have to chain it very smartly and play team fights excessively smartly, because their damage threat overall on the higher side, it's very low unless the Vayne gets going. Poppy, again, she requires farm, she requires those nice stuns into the wall. We'll just have to see how it pans out.
And we are going live into the game right now. Let's see how the game pans out.
PointBlank with the 4 skins to 3 skins on TSC, so they definitely win the skin war over there.
And Colo with that fancy diamond border, even Synox. So yeah, they do have high elo players, but let's see how TSC functions.
I'm really excited for this game because, to be honest with you, this is one of the closest games in the tournament. Like, both these teams are very, very, tied on their skill level, and all of the lanes, I expect them to be really balanced. So what that will result in is some really explosive team fights, which should be fun to watch.
Yeah, that's very true. So let's break it down lane by lane wise. Top matchup, who do you think will be a more dominant force?
Top matchup, I think personally, Colossus should edge it out. Post 6. After that, the Malphite should be looking to for roams and other stuff, because the Poppy is a good laner. So I think top lane should be in Colo's favor. Mid lane is just going to be a farm matchup. None of them can hit the other, because Morgana is just going to pull and Victor is going to laser and the minions are going to vanish. Bot lane is very tricky. So if If Danny plays well, then I like it's a very favorable matchup for the Twitch and the Braum. But again, like it depends how well can Danny manipulate and use his frozen bite to harass Radiant 6 down.
And we go into the first pause for the game. Well, it can't really be an ending tournament match unless there's a pause.
Yep, that is true.
So Twitch against that Vayne. Do you think Twitch is going to have a little hard time in the lane play?
No, Twitch early is a lot of damage. Vayne is like technically the champion which struggles in laning phase. Vayne is the champion who you look for to deal insane damage in team fights mid to late game. It's not particularly a very lane dominant champion. Unless like you get a really good start or something. Termi might just get collapsed on here, stand into the wall.
And Termi gets caught. First blood going to Colo, so Colo
That's
just
poor play.
getting
That's
that
just
advantage.
poor play. Yeah, but that's
Colo
just
just
poor
getting
play.
that advantage over Malphite so early in the game, and the most important part is everybody got the assist. So
So
that
that's a
is
lot of
straight
gold
up
being thrown around
500
in the
gold.
team. Yeah. There was no reason for Termi to be standing in that brush. And it was warded and they just take an advantage. So like that single trinket round ward from Colossus coming out huge, as you can see. That was the ward which he had placed.
And now Colossus has that. He has that corruption potion and a ruby crystal, and he's gonna sustain that lane so well with that initial gold boost he's got.
It's a really nice start for PointBlank. It's always good to get one of your people ahead so early into the game. You should be able to bully out the Malphite now if he plays it properly. Standard start, like the jungler starting opposite ends of the fight. They're both starting their blue. Teams will be just looking to CS. Another pause comes out.
Pretty identical startups from both sides, both starting out from the blue. Pretty standard stuff going on right now.
And if you see at the top lane, the Poppy has stunned the Malphite into the wall. They are both away
Yes.
from their minions.
There is some action going on at top right now, but it's a pretty stale lane as of now.
And again, like he should just go right now. So that's a little bit poor play. He is level 2. He could have, used it better. Like the stun that he just pulled off, he could have just used it when he was 2.
Twitch putting in that stacks, keeping Vayne on the Harris, but Jana is able to block some damage off. Totnes meanwhile is struggling a bit against Colo. He is getting outtraded a bit because of that early advantage Colo has got.
Colo does miss the cannon though, which is not a very good thing. And right now, you can just see that power of the Braum coming out in the lane. Playing purple side as bot lane, it's difficult enough as it is. And it becomes very, like even harder if you pick a losing lane matchup. Because like Vayne, you're gonna have to wait for that scaling. She's not gonna start dealing damage level 1 and level 2 like a Lucian.
And Colo dealing some significant damage to Malphite. He still has 1 stack on the corruption potion, so he might be able to sustain the lane for a little bit, but eventually Colo will be able to outpush the Malphite.
And if he's not very careful, he might just get dove on. Cynox is right behind him.
Yup, Cynox going in for that anti-jungling. Why though is going to scout that area.
I must point out, like Shrapnel is CSing pretty well. He has 29 creeps out of 30 right now, which is like, really good.
Yeah, he's doing it pretty impressively. Meanwhile, Vayne has only 16 CS. So a CS lead is starting to develop.
Yeah, this is like the problem. You pick a Jana, you pick a Vayne, like you have like very. It's very hard to get lane pressure, especially against a Braum and a Twitch with their poison, and just like some bad CSing coming out from Loki right now, missing some easy CS. But then they have it's like really smart play from Danny, trying to deny that cannon, and he will succeed. And again,
He
Shrapnel
does
tanks a
deny
lot
the
of minion
triangle.
aggro.
And Loki has to keep a mind on the stacks, because a lot of the time we forget that Twitch can deal a lot of damage with those E stacks, and we still keep fighting him. But yeah, Twitch does heal up, and it's pretty much a stalemate lane as of now.
Danny continuously tagging Radiant 6 with the Winter's Bite. He's playing this matchup well, but again, that tanking from Shrapnel which he did on those minions has completely equalized the lane for a while. Other lanes is just a farm
And
fest right now.
such smart move by Y, uh, smiting early on the Raptors.
User joined your
And
channel.
he just got that uh, buff, the invisible sight, and he removed one of the trinkets early on. We don't see junglers usually going for smite on the Raptors, but again, a smart move over there by Y. There's some small details in the games which lead to a good matchup, and they
Yep.
are playing
User
good
left
right
your
now.
channel.
So Gragas has gone an interesting build path. He has straight away rushed Aether Wisp. So he's looking for some early damage in ganks, I think, to equalize the damage of the Y. Y again, of course, is a bruiser, and he has gone for the tracker's knife. So a very heavy emphasis on vision from PointBlank. I'm sorry, from TSC.
Yes, Rugged is known for his vision control. In the matches before, also he has gone for the tracker's knife on the Y, and he keeps those wards really up. Like in the last game, we saw as soon as Rugged DC'd, the vision control just disappeared for the next 5 minutes.
So yeah, like otherwise the lanes are mostly equal in CS, 34 to 35 at mid, 39 to 34 at bot. The only significant advantage is coming out from Colossus at top, which is to be expected because he got that first blood, and why setting up for a nice gank at bot. That's a good tornado.
Oh, that's a good tornado indeed.
It's good to see Huracan immediately starting to move the moment he saw the Y. It's always good to cover up for your teammates where you can. And so he did not have any CS to miss. And Danny again playing it extremely smart and does deny the cannon. Radiant 6 instead of going for those autos on Danny should have gone for the cannon because it had escaped the shield range. And I think the Y is
Yep.
coming for a repeat gank right now. But again, they're trying to force really hard, but it's very hard. Like, while it is a losing matchup, but it's extremely hard to gank a Janna lane with all the forms of disengage that she has in her kit.
And since we have the Infernal Dragon, how important is the first dragon going to be?
Infernals are, I think, in my opinion, like the most important dragon in the game. Torch is taking a lot of poke from Colossus. Like 8% extra damage in terms of both ability power and attack damage is nothing to be scoffed at. So I should expect a very early dragon fight unless somebody manages to sneak it in. Torches might go down.
And that's a gank on Torchness. Torchness has to burn his ulti.
And flash. Colossus does miss his ult. They could have done that a little better. But again, they get everything from the Malphite, and he's next to useless in this phase, laning phase right now. A huge CS lead opening up for Colossus at the top lane. And they'll take it because, Vayne, like even if he's like 10 CS down, it's okay. And a TP play coming out right now. Let's go for Danny.
And Danny will get stunned. Will there be enough follow-up? He'll burn.
That's a nice
Danny
bind
will
coming out
fall
from
down.
Huracan.
Nice binding coming up. Shrapnel does take some damage, but will be safe.
Very good to see a teleport play coming out So
the
early
double
in the
teleport
game.
is always a threat because you get so much mobility on your top and your mid lane.
And they get both the summoners out from Braum and the heal from Shrapnel, so it's a very big win for them. And since only Torchness had TP, he could not use it at bot because he had no ulti and flash, so he was next to useless right there.
Torchness getting bullied in the lane. We have a 30 gold, 30 CS advantage, which is a lot by 8-minute mark.
8 minutes for 30 CS, that's not very good for competitive play. He's going to be struggling a while. I'm getting a call, sorry. Look at that.
Well, meanwhile, let's compare gank being done by Y will be stopped by the W from Colo. Nicely played. He waited for Y to get into the motion so he could pop that dash up, and yeah, he's safe as of now. Another beautiful binding landed by Morgana. Colo decides to go in and gets caught up. Y does ulti him. Colo is taking a lot of damage and he will fall down. Synox coming in and they both decide to go back. So that was I don't know why Colo decided to go back. Malphite also locking in that ulti. Tommy popping some huge damage up. Synox might get caught if Malphite decides to go after him. Malphite and Synox will trade some blows, but Malphite has no mana. So Torch Nest. Okay. This might just go in Torch Nest's favor. Yep, everybody coming in, and poor Gragas is going to go down slowly. He does try to deny as much assist gold he could, but sadly he couldn't.
Okay, I'm back, guys. I'm sorry, what did I miss? It seems there was a lot of action. Karan?
You missed 3 kills on TSC side, and
So how did that come about? Like, was there a Y gank or what was it?
well, there was a Y gank up on top, and Colo had safely gone back, but he decided to go there and put a ward and got caught up by the Y ulti. And to follow him up, Synox did go in, but in the end, he managed to go in
Hey,
pretty deep.
wake up.
So there was another kill landed up on Synox. And Morgana also got ganked meanwhile, and she died. So yeah, a lot of action you missed while on that phone call.
Well, that's just my luck, I suppose. Well, apart from that, the gold lead is still pretty much equal. That's just coming out from like the good CSE, coming out from Colossus, and like the major difference is between Colossus and Torchnest. And meanwhile, we see a setup, and Shrapnel does get caught out. He does go invisible for his luck.
But yeah, the Braum was there with his shield, so you have to say
Binary maybe
that
could have placed his pink right there to force a flash or a heal from the Twitch. But again, I think like they just chose to play it safe.
Colo meanwhile being a little aggressive on Malphite. Malphite though has technically equal gold as Colo right now, but still Colo being a bit dominant in the lane, and pretty similar items coming up on both of them.
Good solid play coming out from Radiant 6. They have caught up in the lane pretty nicely, especially since the gank can. Just keeps poking the Braum, which is like the right thing to do because he has nothing to hit.
With the first item as Blade of the Rune King, after so much dispute on the item being nerfed, do you agree with that build?
He needs that. He definitely needs that. He's going to get jumped on by two tanks who are going to do everything which they can to slow her down or to CC her down. She needs those. She needs that to kill those tanks and get to that backline. Not to mention that it does give her a lot of sustain in lane and it helps her a lot in kiting as well. So yeah, and that's just a good trade.
Yep, and
Binary is playing
Danny
this matchup very
blocking-
well now. It's good to see.
And Danny blocking that tornado with his projectile block. Pretty smart move there by Danny.
And this is good to see. Huracan is constantly looking to make plays, which is the norm on Morgana pretty much. I don't know why he was condemned away there. If they expected, if they knew the mob was coming down, condemned away he was. So yeah. And like right now, Radiant 6 had a very good chance to freeze the lane. He chooses not to take it because it is pushing towards himself. And now finally he's playing it smart. He's trying to shorten it, thin it out a bit. He can gain a good CS advantage.
And Twitch
Infernal being attempted by Cyanox completely alone. This is a good call. This is a really
very
good call.
There is no vision control whatsoever on the blue side, and they might lose this dragon uncontested. Okay, they will lose this dragon uncontested.
Losing a free Infernal Dragon is not good play.
A smart pink ward there.
It's well, if he did know that it was warded, it's not really going to help. It wasn't going to help TSC that much. But again, like they do want that vision control. It could have maybe been used in the river for Colossus, especially since the last time, as you tell me, he was ganked over there.
Yep, Torchness getting some fight against Colo, and he will deal significant amount of damage to Colo.
Why is looking for a lane gank though at bottom? But I don't think it's going to succeed because unless they go on the Janna herself, the Janna can just disengage it away.
And Synox is not far enough. Synox is coming there. Will he be there?
Beautiful tornado coming out. Rugged Human goes in very
and
deep.
Rugged Human is caught. That
Beautiful
was
play coming out from Binary Vision.
Yeah, Binary with a beautiful play. Rugged didn't expect both the ultis to push him back to the turret and stick him there. And that's what happened.